let's begin. So your co-hosts today are myself. So I'm Flor Blondel-Goupil. I'm a senior customer engagement manager and I'm based in London. And we also have Lauren. Lauren, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm an associate product manager here at NationBuilder and excited to be with you all.
Thanks, Lauren. So we'll go through all of the content of this webinar. And as I said, we'll have time for a question at the end. What we will go through is first, why do we care about privacy? You know, privacy is a big theme and it has been for a couple of years. And this feature is kind of showing the work that we are constantly doing to meet privacy standards. So we'll talk about advanced privacy tools, what are cookies, and how to set up your Cookiebot cookie banner. And then we'll have time for questions. So to begin with, let's talk about what we care about privacy. So privacy is really important to put people at the center. And so it is best practice for organization. We know that, you know, working with leaders at NationBuilder, leading requires organizations to build trust in their processes and how the data is handled. And so when you put privacy at the center, you can earn your supporters' trust, build meaningful relationships, and, you know, really be respectful of their communications preference. So that's really, really important. And another reason for that is, you know, privacy standards are progressing everywhere. I'm sure you all are very familiar with this. So there are a number of legislations that are being enforced across the globe. So it's really important that we stay up to date with those. And we've noticed over the years as well that there are many benefits for privacy. You know, when we started implementing our GDPR tools, we noticed that by asking consent, people who were based in Europe had really better open rate and click rates compared to other countries in the world where these processes weren't already in place. So this is really valuable, and that's why we're really constantly working on this. Next, so I was talking about the tools that we have implemented for the GDPR, and this is actually part of our advanced privacy tools, which are, you know, available across the world. And so these tools are available in your nation settings. So you probably have seen those. If you haven't, if you go to your nation settings, you'll see a checkbox that allows you to enable advanced privacy. And so by doing this, you're going to unlock some features such as consent management. You'll be able to granularly ask consent to people for your different types of communication. You'll be able to get a digital download for all of the data that you have about a person. So, you know, if someone asks you for all of the data that you hold on them, you'll be able to provide that download. You can also set up a digital will for people to let you know what they want you to do with their data if they die. And you can also, by enabling these tools, you can have regular deletion of snapshots. It means that you're not holding onto that data for too long. Yeah, it will be, you'll have like the snapshots that won't be available after a certain amount of time. So now if we go back to the original subject of this webinar, the Cookiebot cookie banner, let's start with talking about cookies. And so what are cookies? Cookies track website activity. So when someone visits your site, the service gives them a cookie that acts as an identification card. And then depending on the type of cookie, the browser may store that cookie during their session or pass it back to the server upon each return visit to that site. So it's going to, you know, be carried on. And so some cookies are necessary for basic site functionality. So for example, if you want to save the information that you're submitting on the pages of the form, and some are used for marketing or data analytics tracking. the data analytics cookie tracking can help websites manage or create a more personalized experience, so you don't have to like fill out the forms again. But some people might consider it intrusive, and that's why cookie banner, the cookie banner is helpful. And so all cookies that are set by NationBuilder directly are strictly necessary for the site to function. But if you connect, for example, a payment processor, the processor will also likely set cookies that are required for this operation. So you'll have more cookies that are really necessary for the functionality. Sometimes if you embed videos or add other functionality to your website, this can also add additional cookies. And so that's why the cookie banner integration that we've created is going to be very helpful. So this cookie banner that we have integrated is GDPR, CCPA, and EPR compliant, and it will automatically audit your site for any cookies that may be loaded. So it means that you don't have to know exactly all of the systems that you have in place and what cookie they're adding, but you can rely on Cookiebot to do a scan and tell you everything that you have. And then people will be able to select what they want to keep and do that on a granular basis. So now let's dig into how you can set up your cookie banner. So what I'll do is I'll show you the steps and explain how you can do this, and then I'll go into the control panel and show you how it's done. So the 4 steps are, first, we're going to create a Cookiebot account, which is a separate system that will integrate with NationBuilder. Then we will configure the Cookiebot banner settings, and then we will enable this cookie banner on the site. And then the last step is to create a cookie declaration page where people will be able to see the full breakdown. And so a quick note on websites and cookie banners. The Cookiebot accounts are free if you have up to 100 live pages on your site. If you have more pages, then you'll have to pay for a subscription, which is listed on our website. So now let's have a look at the steps one by one. So the first one is we will create a Cookiebot account. The way you can do this is just go into your website settings and go into the cookie banner settings, and you'll find a checkbox that allows you to enable this cookie banner. And you'll see that there is a URL here, a link that will take you to the Cookiebot site. And so then you'll be able to create your account and get things started. The second step is to configure the settings. So in the Cookiebot account, you'll have different tabs that we will go through in a minute, but you'll be able to add your domain where you want to enable the cookie banner. Then you'll be able to personalize the look and feel of your banner by going into the dialog tab. And then you'll be able to personalize the content. So of your buttons, of your description, everything will be editable. And then at any point, you'll be able to preview your banner in the Cookiebot account. After we've done this, the next step will be to get your script, your token, excuse me. So you'll be able to get this number and put it back into your control panel. So I'll show you how it's done, but just to kind of guide you through the steps first. And then to finish, you'll be able to create a cookie declaration page on your website. And so this is extremely easy. Cookiebot will give you a script, and you'll just have to copy and paste that script into a page where you will have to edit the template. So I'll show you how to do this. Let me go to my Nation. So this is my NationBuilder account. You can see that I am in the website section. And this is the first thing I'm going to see on my website, so I can see my pages here. If I go to the site settings, I will be able to find the cookie banner tab. And so in that tab, you'll see that this is the checkbox that I showed you earlier. So if you try to enable the cookie banner, you will get a drop down that develops, and then if you click on that link, you'll get to the cookie banner site. In my case, I wanted to prepare this to show you like what the cookie banner exactly looked like, so you can see that I already have it configured, but I'll go through the whole process. So if I create my account in Cookiebot, entering my name, email, and so on, this is what I'm going to see. I'm landing on this page where I can see the domains. So the first thing you need to do is add the domain for your website. In that case, this is the website that I showed you in my nation. You can see that it's going to scan the website monthly. This is what's available with a free account. And so the next thing I'll be able to do is go to the dialogue section. And so in here, I'll be able to kind of customize the look and feel of my banner. So you can see that it's using a template that's called Elemental. So if I preview my banner, you can see what it looks like. If I was to change this and select Swift, for example, it would have a different look. So you can decide which one you want. You can also have a custom one, which, you know, if you're familiar with CSS and code in general, you might be able to set up. But in that case, I'll just keep the Elemental one. And you can also decide where you want the banner to show up. So it could be at the top, at the bottom. It could be, you know, kind of pushing down, pushing up, and so on. So you have flexibility in terms of like how this is going to show up. Now, if I go to the content section, this is where you'll see all of the text that is going to, and the buttons that are going to be displayed in your banner. And so you can personalize this if you need. The advice here is to really make sure that you're talking with your legal counsel to, you know, make sure that you're falling into what's needed for your for the legislation in your country. But yeah, you'll be able to change all of this. One thing to note is that when you are adding your domain here, Cookiebot is going to start scanning. So the software will send you an email as soon as it's done, and then you'll be able to come back and like really finish setting up your cookie banner. So you'll really need to wait for that email before you can actually set it live. Once I've received that email from Cookiebot to tell me everything is ready, I can go into the cookies section. And here you'll see that Cookiebot categorizes the different types of cookies. And so there might be some that are uncategorized, and you'll be able to change this category here to make sure that it falls under the right bucket. So once this is all complete, all of the cookies will show in the right category in your cookie banner. So if I show you again the preview, if I go into the details, you'll see that I have kind of the breakdown of all of the cookies that are on my site. So that's the idea. And so once you've categorized all of your cookies, you can come back to this tab, which is the scripts tab. And so you'll be able to copy this code here and put it back here. And that's what's really going to enable the cookie banner on your website. So yes, and then the next step is going to be still in that scripts tab to create your cookie declaration page. And so in order to do this, we're going to take that code here, not the first one, the second one, and that we're going to be able to implement on our website to create this, this page. So if I just go and create a new cookie declaration page, I'll set it up as unlisted for now. And now what I need to do is go into the template of that page to paste the code that I've just taken from Cookiebot. So it depends what kind of theme you are using. If you're using some of the stock themes, you will just need to delete the content and paste your script. Sometimes you'll need to delete everything and just paste the script. It's all laid out in our documentation, so you'll find what's needed for your specific stock theme. So now that I have published this, we'll be able to see this page on my website, and you'll see that the cookie declaration page is loading from Cookiebot. So you can see like each of the cookies and their description, their expiry period, and so on. And so with this, you'll be able to take that link and go back into Cookiebot, and in content, you'll be able to add this link into your description. So link to our declaration page, and then I can create a hyperlink. Right. So don't forget to save, and then you're all set with your cookie banner. So if I go to, I'll stop sharing my screen and show you in a incognito window to show you what it looks like. If I go back, right. Let me just share that window. The right one is the best. Okay, so I'm just going to my page, and oh, I think I have another window open probably. I swear it worked. Ah, here we go. It appeared. So you can see that I have my cookie banner and then the link to my declaration page, so people can go and see it. It should come back because I haven't accepted the cookies. And as I showed you in the demo, you will in the Cookiebot software, people will be able to select granularly what they want to accept or not. So yeah, that's pretty easy. You see, in 20 minutes, I was able to set it up. So yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to show you. And now I'm curious if there are any questions. It looks like there's been activity in the chat. All of the people in the world. Awesome. Any questions so far? Okay, no questions yet. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Celestia. And so Lauren is here, and she's going to be able to answer all of your questions. So the first one that we got is, once we have the cookie banner set up and people can make selections, is that automatically set up?
Yeah, so once somebody has made a selection, they'll be able to reset their selection at any point on the declaration page itself, so they can always navigate to that. It's a good idea to have that accessible somewhere publicly, like in your top navigation, or at least in one of the drop-down menus in your top navigation, so that people can go and reset their cookie selection at any point. But their cookie selection will be stored for the duration that's determined in your Cookiebot settings. So that will work for them automatically. Any cookies that were retrieved by Cookiebot in the original scan will be accepted or rejected based on those settings automatically. There's nothing else you have to do from your end to make all of that work.
Question from Sebastian. Cookiebot has different plans. Which one did you use on your demo?
So Flora was using the free plan. So you'll see, or you may have noticed during her demo, that some of the sections were grayed out. That's because she was using the free plan. So if you want to change the look or the feel of the cookie banner, make it match your site in a different way, that's something that's available on the paid plan. There are a whole host of features that are accessible to you once you add a paid tier. So as Flora noted, you may have to do that depending on the number of pages on the website that you're connecting, or if you want to connect multiple websites to the same Cookiebot account. So you can set up a separate Cookiebot account per website if you'd like to do that, or if you want to see all of your cookie consents in one place, that is possible with one of their paid accounts. You can attach multiple domains to one Cookiebot.
Awesome. Thank you, Lauren. Any other questions? I'm curious, actually, I have a question for everyone. Do you currently have a cookie banner? And if so, like, do you have the former cookie banner, or have you already tried implementing the Cookiebot one? What's your cookie banner situation is my question. And feel free to unmute if you wanna respond.
Hello. Can I? Yeah. So I'll talk. Currently, I don't have a cookie banner, but I was just wondering, because you said the former one, but it will remain a feature of NationBuilder, right? Okay, so there's a possibility to have Cookiebot and the other one, the classic one.
So once you have, if you have the classic one enabled, we do suggest that you disable that, or rather it's set up in the control panel so that you disable that. Because if you tried to have two different types of cookie banner show up at the same time, there would be conflicts there and it would be a weird user experience. So once you select to use Cookiebot, you'll automatically be disabling our legacy cookie banner, which didn't have quite all of the bells and whistles that the new Cookiebot banner does.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. It looks like a lot of people don't have one yet and want to set one up. So I'm hoping that this will be helpful. And the great thing is that you will get a state-of-the-art cookie banner. So that's really good. Amazing. Any other questions before we wrap up? Yeah, so if you have more questions after this webinar, you're going to receive an email to send you the link to the recording if you want to send it to someone else, and you can reply to this email. We'll get back to you if you have any questions, and otherwise you can always message our support team in the messenger in your nation. They'll be able to help you with that. Yeah, that's a good remark, Celestin. I think this one is actually maybe easier to set up than the former one, and it's even more complete. So yeah, we're really happy about it.
Marcia, to your question about whether or not the US requires a disclosure, it's going to depend on your state, what rules you have in place. So by and large, the EU has much stricter privacy requirements, but you'll notice there's like the California requirement where if you are selling data, you have to notify folks of that. So I'd recommend just checking in with the regulations of your state or where most of your supporters are based, and making sure that you're in compliance with your audience.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Awesome. Well, if there's no more questions, I will thank you a lot for being with us today. I hope this was helpful. And yes, feel free to get in touch if you have any questions. We'll help you set it up on your website. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.